So now we're going to talk some more about the law of karma, cause and effect, because this is so crucial, because it's very important we understand this law. It's the basis of all other laws, this law of karma. And the thing I want you to understand most about it is that it works through intent. So the little example I've used all my life about intent is, if there was a bricklayer on top of a building and he was laying brick, and let's say the building's 5 stories tall, and he accidentally nudged a brick over the edge and it fell on someone and hit him in the head. Okay, the cause would be, carelessly putting the bricks where maybe they were in, a bad position, and being nudged over the edge. The effect would be the person being hit on the head, and maybe some damage or injury caused. Okay, the repercussion of that, or the effect of that for him, would be in direct proportion to his intent, carelessness, and some injury caused. Another situation would be if that bricklayer were at the top of the building and laying brick, and he was looking at people going, I wonder if I could hit somebody. I wonder if I could get somebody in the head. And his intent is to see if he could hit somebody in the head and cause injury. Okay, do we see the huge difference in the intent of these two? So the karma, or the result, going back to the bricklayer from the first incident, is much different than the cause going back to the bricklayer from the second incident. So everything that you put into motion in your life is a result of intention and the action you put into it. Okay, so that's why I pointed out so much in the first week that you pay attention, you pay close attention to your thoughts, and you pay close attention to what your reasoning is, what you're feeling when you do something, because the result of that, the intent that you put into it, is going to be what feeds directly into the result that you get. Okay, does any questions on that? Another simple example would be, I'm not necessarily an early riser by nature. So if I'm going to get up early, if I'm going to get up at 6, which is early for me, then I need to set the alarm clock. If I don't set the alarm clock, I'm probably going to oversleep. Now, in our society, we've been taught punishment reward, not cause and effect, but punishment reward. If I oversleep, there's no punishment involved. It's a result. I didn't set the alarm clock. I know my nature is to sleep in, and so therefore I sleep later than I should. Okay? There's no punishment. God didn't punish me. Nobody punished me. Okay? It's just a result. And in our society, we've been taught punishment. Like, if I'm good, I'm a good girl, then everything good is going to happen to me. That's not the way it works. And so we were taught an illusion, a dream, that if I'm good and I follow these rules, I'm kind to my elders, and thus and so, all these things, then I'll get lots of good rewards. Okay, the problem with that is we go through our life being good, as I do, Shirley Temple, and we don't get those, everybody doesn't like us, we don't get to be prom queen, and so forth and so on. And then we're shocked and astonished that all this goodness that we didn't pan out. But the problem is the goodness we were taught to do were what our parents and their parents and their parents thought was good. Okay? When we resort to law and understand the law, we understand intent is about love, about giving love, about radiating love, about true caring, sincerity. Okay? And that's far different from following the rules of what the good girl, good boy situation was when we grew up. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so the law of cause and effect has nothing to do with punishment and reward. There is no punishment and no reward. It's simply cause and effect. It's as simple as this. I give abundantly, I receive abundantly. I love abundantly, I am loved abundantly. Along with that goes this other little thing, that if you want to receive love, if you give love and you want to receive love, then you have to love yourself. Because we are, and did you notice how difficult it is for many people to just say something wonderful about themselves? That's a direct correlation to how they feel about themselves. And if you want to be loved, you have to love yourself. I mean, the cause is I love myself. The result is I am loved from other people as well. But we have to start with I love myself. I am love. I love who I am. I love that I am wonderful and brilliant and beautiful and kind and all those things, the same things that you all are, by the way. Everything I am, you are too. I'll acknowledge it with you. Okay? So if you want to be loved, simple, love yourself. And most of the time what we'll do is, but I want someone else to love me. The reason people say that is because they don't love themselves. When you love yourself, then it's automatically going to happen, and it's either here nor there. I mean, if that person loves me or that person loves me, it doesn't matter, because I'm so busy loving myself that I can handle it either way. It's not a big deal. Does that make sense? Okay. So what we tend to do is think externally that if I'm this, and it's the good girl, good boy syndrome, really. It's if I'm all these good things, then this is all these external things are going to happen to me. But what it is really is that when I am a radiant sun, when I am beaming out and radiating to every person, when I am radiating and beaming to myself, when I am being all that I can be by being brilliant and radiant and loving, then all good things come to me. I magnetize them all. Okay? So that's the law of cause and effect. It is the most misunderstood law, because people will say we have bad karma and good karma. No, we don't. We have karma. It's just cause and effect. There's no bad and there's no good. It's just cause and effect. It's not punishment. And that's what I want to make sure you understand. We're separating it from any idea of punishment reward that we were taught, because all of us were taught a punishment reward system. You know, if you get all your homework done, you know, you'll get an A or something. And it's sort of infiltrated throughout almost everything that we've learned growing up. Our religion, most religions, I would say, you know, school, all of these things. If you know, you remember some of the sayings you were taught. If you're nice to everybody, they'll be nice to you. Does that work? Not really. It doesn't really work. If you're nice to everybody, sometimes they're going to sock you in the nose, you know, because we're not being taught discrimination. And not to say it's not wonderful to be loving to everyone, but that isn't necessarily the key to it all. It's still working from a good girl, bad boy, a good girl, bad girl, whatever system. And that's what we want to get away with, because that we were taught many illusional or disillusional ideas, okay, that just don't work.
It's different if, like, that's who we are. We're that way towards everybody, and that's just an expression of us.
Yes. Yeah. You mean I choose love. I choose love. Yeah. And in time, what I want you all to learn is recognize the thoughts that are there that go, yeah, but that person is, you know, not very attractive. Do you really want to love that person? Or, you know, they have 3 heads or something, you know. And, you know, we can say, yeah, I choose to love them anyway. Or they're not very nice or something. I choose to love them anyway. Because what you're doing is not loving their behavior. You're loving them as a being, as a spirit. Okay, and it's very different from loving or approving of their behavior. And again, we get lost on that. We get hooked up in that. We get confused about that. Does that make sense? So here's the deal. You want health? Then you have to start with cause. What causes health? We start with thinking health. We start with claiming health. Once we do that, once we begin to identify ourselves as healthy, then we find the right, you know, ideas, movements, exercise, food, treatments, whatever. We find all the correct things that are going to work best for us to create that state of health. We have to start with what we want to feel within ourselves. Feel that first, then that will guide you toward how to get there. Okay? So the cause is the feeling identification with health. The effect is everything that will create that for me. Okay? Which might be different than what's for you, because we're all a little bit different. If we want wealth, can we go around and tell people or say constantly, like, I can't afford that, and oh, I don't have enough money for that? Is that going to create wealth? Okay. Can I tell you, like, what a victim I am and how everybody mistreats me? Am I going to be wealthy if I do that? No.
Do we flip it over or put another one in?
Flip it. Yeah. So if we say I choose wealth, then our actions, our thoughts, our words have to reflect the choice that we're making. Does that make sense? If you don't feel like you've got the money to spend for the whatever it is, then say I choose not to buy that today. It doesn't mean you have to vow that I'm impoverished. Okay? That's not my choice to spend it on that today. It's that simple. Okay? So watch your words because you're constantly creating your effect from your words and your actions. So if whatever you want, understand you're responsible for that want now, then whatever you do, say, and be will reflect in that want. Okay? Because if you cannot say, I choose wealth, but I can't handle that, I can't pay for that, I'm too poor. No. Now you're in conflict. Conflicted energy. If you're wanting joy, then feel joy first, and then let that feeling of joy guide you to whatever thing, experience, person, idea will help you just stay in joy. And it might just be that I choose joy every day and that's what I feel and that's it. And I can look at life and I can laugh. Look at that, there's children playing. Look at that, there's, animals scurrying around. They're just running around, isn't that fun? I can look around and see the result of my choosing joy. Or if I choose depression and misery, guess what I'll see? Because it's there anyway. We will see it because that's what we're holding in our mind. Okay, that's cause and effect. We have to set it up by state of consciousness. Once you own it by state of consciousness, it's yours. It's yours. So our outer world is a mirror, and if we're running into people who are miserable and victims a lot, guess what? It's telling you your state of consciousness. That's the only purpose. It's not there to punish you. It's not, you're screwed up and you don't even know how to do this and you don't even, blah. That's not what it's saying. It's saying, look at, today you hung out in victimhood for a while. You want to do that? Here, it's not too much fun, is it? Notice these folks over here, victims, and then you get to go, change my mind. It's that simple. There's no punishment to it. It's just that simple. The outer world is a mirror. If we're running into criticism, if people are yakking us, criticizing us, telling us how ridiculous we are, then guess what's going on in here? Okay, cause and effect, that's all it is. Conflicts. When we are saying one thing and wanting another, we're in conflict. That's as simple as this. I want to be wealthy, but money is evil. Okay, conflict. Nobody identifies with that, right? Okay, but you get the idea here. I want to be loved, but I think I'm stupid and miserable and disgusting. Guess what? Conflict. Okay? What's it going to be? Okay, I want to give and I want to love, but I won't let anyone give to me. Uh-oh. Conflict. Because we're saying giving is good, I want to give and it's good, but I'm not going to be given to. Well, then it must not be good. There's a conflict there. Make sense? So anytime we're out of sorts, I want to have fun in life, but I'm not going to be fun. Okay, we got a problem. We got a problem. So you've got to be in sync with yourself. You've got to feel it, say it, do it, speak it, and be it all at the same time. And if you're not doing it from every level, it's not going to happen. Any questions about that? Your car breaks down. Oh, this stupid car. You want your car running? You better be loving that car. Love that car. Ask yourself what your strongest belief is, about life. Ask yourself what your strongest belief is about yourself, and you'll get an idea then what, are you in sync with yourself or not? Are you wanting something that coordinates with who you are? Okay, any questions on this? Does anyone here have fear of failure? And if you have a fear of failure, then you're identifying with failure. And the thing is that if you just switch your view a little bit, just shift a little bit and go, everything that doesn't happen the way I think it should is okay because I'm going to learn from that. And everything is going to help me be successful. Of course, success at the same time is a bit of an ambiguous thing. I mean, what is success? Is it having a lot of friends, or is it being healthy, or is it having money, or what? Make sure your idea of success coordinates with what it is you're trying to accomplish. Because otherwise you're saying, I want success, but it's so ambiguous, you're not really giving universal mind a chance to direct you in any direction. Yeah. Well, and we were taught so many things that were, incorrect in that taking a risk, you'll fall on your face. Well, what if you do?
Right.
Who cares? I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, does that mean that you're not a wonderful being? If we stop and examine some of our thinking, taking a risk can be the most wonderful thing you've ever done in your life because it expands you. And we really aren't going to be expanded until we take a risk and try new things. Some of us are much more adept at that than others. But again, that whole thing about, well, you're going to look ridiculous. Well, are you here for everybody else to look at you and see ridiculous? Or are you here to be the biggest, best thing possible for you? And again, it goes back to what's important for you. What's important for you? Okay, and we have to be honest about that because many people will make up all kinds of excuses and not take the next step. And it really is your responsibility to always be looking for the next step because you either grow or you decline, one or the other. There's only two directions, up or down. And if you're not going up, then you're going down, okay? So you decide where you want to go to and understand if you're not there right now, then that's going to require some risk to get there. Meaning I'm going to do something different that I've not done yet. That's all. That's all risk is. It's nothing more than that. If you want to know if you're in conflict about anything, look for the fear. Look for the fear. There's fear there. Yeah.
Question is, with the cause and effect, does it mean that everything that happens in your life is sort of a reflection of where your consciousness is?
Yeah. Right. Every manifestation, result of a belief. So you want to look at what beliefs are continuing to affect you, to influence you, and look at those in relationship to the law of cause and effect. And then how are you creating your life right now, and do you want to change it? You can change your life. You can, when I say shift your thinking, you can change your beliefs. Your beliefs are moldable. Just because you were taught you have to be a good girl doesn't mean that you have to do that, or a good boy or whatever. It doesn't mean you have to follow those dictates for your whole life and limit yourself, because most of those things are incredibly limiting to what you can be in life.